Turn up, skibidi band skang. Where I said, it's Ozzy, the 5-star general, right up here on the MD90 YouTube channel. Subscribe right about now and get exclusive information all the way right here. Boom.
Well, as we build up heading into the August general elections this year, it seems like a number of opinion polls are going to run as we head towards that. So in terms of the opposition, the people that have been dominating the conversation of late has been Brian Munduwire, Makabi Zulu, and KBF, amongst others. And then most of the people are aligning around those candidates. But in as much as that's the case, you may be aware that the PF is still in court fighting their situation there. So someone had put up, assuming this is August 13th, where are you putting your vote? Let's say approval rating of Brian Munduwire. It goes with a tagline of Brian Munduwire 8, as you may be aware. Hakainde Hichilema is the current president of Zambia and is the 7th Republican president. So, and this is Hichilema. So different results came out of that. So I decided to say, instead of just relying on other opinion polls, I decided to do an opinion poll on my channel right here. And you guys, those are your votes. They've come through. So according to the opinion poll that I ran on this channel, voted by you, the viewers of this channel, I put up an opinion poll of Makabi Zulu versus Hakainde Hichilema is rating. So with that particular vote, 86 votes in total came in, and Hakainde Hichilema got 76% of that vote, while Makabi Zulu only got 24%. That only goes to show if the opposition were to pick Makabi Zulu, Hakainde Hichilema would win by that margin. What is the case of Brian Munduwire? The votes are less than what came through with Makabi Zulu, so I don't know how to evaluate that. But according to the results, based off the 41 votes that came through for the total opinion poll between Brian Munduwire and Hakainde Hichilema, Hichilema got 59% of that 41 votes, while Brian Munduwire got 41% out of that. So those are the two margins. So in both cases, Hakainde Hichilema beats the opposition according to you guys on this channel. So let's wait and see as we head towards August. I'm pretty sure the dynamics on the playing field will change. And one critical thing is that that timeline of the opposition, of the dissolution of parliament, which is likely to be, according to the ECZ publicized schedule of the election, should be like on the 13th of May, parliament is going to be dissolved. So let's wait and see if most of the MPs go to the UPND or they decide to stay in the opposition. But from the look of things, it might be a serious bloodbath in terms of the parties fighting for candidates. And then Makabi Zulu was in charge and decided to run this. There's a headline running by Kalemba where he was quoting the scripture. It says, I will be president of the Republic of Zambia, Makabi Zulu. And they're referring to this particular video of Makabi Zulu in church just a couple of hours ago, today, Sunday. And let me let him speak for himself. Just stand by as I play you the video of Makabi in church.
I declare divine elevation. As God raises kings, He is also raising me into my appointment. I will not remain where I am if it is below my calling. And where I am is below my calling. Where I am is below my calling. He who raises kings is raising me to be king. And as such, I declare that I am the president of the Republic of Zambia.
1
Please don't get offended. It's my declaration. Thank you so much.
That was Makabi in church, and you could see his people cheering him on as he declared himself to say he's going to be president. And yeah, it's politics at the end of the day. You can't take away politics from every circle, even in church. It is what it is. It's very essential. And yeah, so that was Makabi earlier on in church, simply saying best of that scripture is declaring it for himself, and people should not get offended that he's made that declaration. Yeah, and then he signs off on that video as you heard him. What is the one person that seems to have switched up so soon and has shocked a number of people is that guy that you see on screen there. So that's a new Chawama member of parliament, Brian Nundwe. So he's always been a PF guy. I think he was even permanent secretary under Edgar Chakalungu's government. If not Edgar, then what's his name? Michael Sata. He was a member, he was a permanent secretary in one of those regimes, either Edgar Chakalungu's regime or Michael Sata's regime. So, as you may be aware, PF is fighting battles in court. They decided to adopt him as a candidate and use the FDD as a purpose vehicle. And when he went in parliament, the first person to have noted the switch up was Miles Sampa. He said that when he entered parliament, parliament sitting was tabulated to say that he was supposed to sit next to Miles Sampa, and then later on, like a day after, he was moved to be with the people that had voted for Bill 7. So that came up, and then it was sidelined. But as of the last 48 hours, there was an event happening in Chawama. As you may be aware, he's a new member of parliament in Chawama. And he lashed a number of praises for the UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema with regard to CDF. And that has not sat well with the opposition, especially the people that worked with him on the ground in terms of politics. So, and the UPND are utilizing this vehicle, obviously, to jab at the opposition. One of the people that has jabbed is George Mutonga, a Zambian based in the US. He says, there is a type of head and hairstyle that I just expect to be United Party for National Development, UPND. And he puts out this guy, he's 100% UPND, obviously jabbing at the Miles Sampa and the rest of them to say, this guy is already gone, forget. And yeah, it's been in the news. So Forum for Democracy and Development, FDD spokesperson Anthony Chibuye says, Chawama Member of Parliament Brian Nundwe was under siege and was coerced to praise President Hakainde Hichilema during the commissioning of Kuku police post, news diggers. That makes no sense at all, honestly. A whole member of parliament, he has nothing to fear. What has just not sat well with the opposition is that they didn't expect him to switch up now. Probably they were anticipating this switch up to happen maybe once parliament is dissolved. But this guy has barely been in parliament, I think barely 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he switched up. It looks like he's likely to stand on the UPND ticket in August. So it's that switch up that has left a number of people confused. And another thing that was very well observed, that during this same ceremony that was happening in Chawama, he was accompanied by the losing UPND candidate. That is it, Morgan Ngona, the guy that was picked. And as you may be aware from the previous broadcast, there is a back and forth that is happening within the UPND. The guy that was picked to be candidate, that's Morgan Ngona, versus is it Timothy? I've just forgotten his surname. The Timothy guy, the guy that initially was supposed to stand on the ticket. So it seems like Morgan would rather have Brian Nundwe adopted on the UPND ticket as opposed to Timothy. I do not know what's going on, because their interaction was a little bit fishy when you look at the optics in the video. Like, wait a second. Just a couple of days ago, you were fighting with a guy within the UPND who's likely to be the adopted candidate. And now you are appearing with the FTD guy who's pretty much PF, and you are part of the commissioning as a losing member of parliament, and you intend to stand. So I think Morgan has sensed the likelihood of him not being adopted. So it's like, okay, fine. If I'm not going to be adopted, neither is that Timothy guy going to be adopted. I would rather the same Brian Nundwe be adopted than a UPND ticket. And it looks like Brian is also for the idea. he doesn't want the heat that would come with him competing with the UPND again in August. So he would rather just be on that ticket. That's what it looks like. So, and then Emmanuel Mwamba put up a number of videos from the interaction. It says, newly elected Chawama Member of Parliament, Honorable Brian shares in a dance with the UPND choir that were on hand to celebrate the official opening of Kuku Police Station, funded through the Constituency Development Fund. So it's from that interaction that he even praised President Hakainde Hichilema, simply saying CDF was a game changer. And then this platform is alleging to say this statement is also coming from the same guy. He says, I did not force you to adopt me. You used me, and I've also used you. So let's move on and support UPND developmental programs. So they allege that statement is coming from him, simply saying, hey guys, everybody's a win-win. You got a winning an election from the ruling party. So you used me for that, and I've also used you for me to get into parliament, and now let's just work with the UPND. Allegedly, that statement cannot be confirmed if it came from him, but there are a number of platforms. But from the look of things, I sense the UPND would not want to risk using any candidate now, and it looks like it's more favorable to utilize him. There's a likelihood he might be the guy that the UPND actually picks for August, as opposed to trying to fight with a fresh candidate. And it seems like the guy that lost would rather have Brand Nundwe adopted on the UPND ticket as opposed to Timothy. I don't know what fights they have amongst themselves, but from the look of things and the optics, it seems like that's what he's opting for. Yeah, so obviously George Mutongo was quick to double down. He says, you do not develop your constituency by going against government and making the government your political enemy. Consider consider how UPND members behaved. We had MPs who were leading the fighting against the Patriotic Front, but the majority of our MPs kept quiet. You do not fight the government unless your intentions are to unseat the government. His focus is Chawama. He is not trying to be president. There is no need for him to create enemies. You need to make sure you are creating. You are creating enemies. There is a return of investment on having them as enemies. So simply saying he does not serve his purpose as a member of parliament, might as well just go and work with the ruling government. And that picture that you see there is one of the things that I was referring to. The guy in the blue suit before the cutting of that ribbon, that's the guy who was the candidate for the UPND. That's Morgan Ngona. And Brand New, the guy in the gray suit there, you can see having a light moment there. It's going to be a lot of gymnastics as we head into August. It's likely to be a movie. What is Chair Tukuta shares his moment, how he became a presidential photographer, how he positioned himself. I'll show you in that next broadcast. But President Hakainde Hichilema was at AU. You can see the PF trying to find faults in everything there. I say, Avena Ruto Navena. Sure, how do you squeeze someone's hand like that? Pretty much showing a picture of how President Ruto had squeezed President Hakainde Hichilema's handshake there. Just some funny business going on in the PF. Whilst the news digger says, forgive your cheating wives. And then Mas says, police to employ UPND cadres. Secretariat has submitted secret list for recruitment, says the MP. So I don't know which MP is being attributed with that statement. Allegedly, that's in the Real Times. And then obviously that's in the Times of Zambia. And then Mopani Mufulira site shut due to compliance issues. And Nakachinda accuses Patriotic Front of betrayal. PF Secretary General says some senior party leaders are exploiting his imprisonment to chase power. So it is what it is. Politics are all about personal interest. There are no permanent enemies, and neither are they permanent friends. If the interests align, we are friends and we serve the same agenda. If you're no longer useful, you get sidelined. So it seems like Rafael Nakachinda is facing the heat in prison. And yeah, so that statement is being attributed to him. Anyway, overall, that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. It's late in Zambia, or good morning, depending on where you're from, which time zone you're watching this from at this moment. All right.